Department has this new fund that was announced today, $1.7 billion.
Yeah.
Why should taxpayers pay for the January 6th?
Well, it's been very well received, I have to tell you. I know very little about it. I wasn't involved in the whole creation of it and the negotiation. But this is reimbursing people that were horribly treated. It's anti-weaponization. They've been weaponized. They've been, in some cases, imprisoned wrongly.
Trump pardoned or gave clemency to every single person during the January 6th insurrection, including the 170 people that were convicted of using a deadly weapon against a police officer. And he pardoned every single one. In the events leading up to the 2020 election, Donald Trump tweeted that the election would be stolen, some shit like that, 1,500 times. 10% of all of his social media posts talked about some type of election fraud. And then when he lost that election, he turned in 7 fraudulent elector slates to Congress and to the National Archives that consisted of 84 fake electoral votes because he was trying to stay in power. And then he tweeted this to try to pressure Mike Pence to acknowledge that those fraudulent elector slates were actually real. And when Mike Pence did not do that, Trump told all of those fucking supporters to take your country back. It's being stolen from you. And they stormed the Capitol for the purpose of overthrowing a 250-year-old democracy. And not only did those people get pardoned for what they did, but now they're going to be paid. The message has been sent. If you try to overthrow a 250-year democracy to keep Donald Trump in power, you will be immune to the law and you will be compensated.
I have never seen corruption on this scale. And I'm from Africa. Get pardoned and also get reparations on top of that is crazy work. Some other fool out here was like, Trump keeps winning every day. Jesus Christ. This is why these ass-kisses just show up out of nowhere. They're so loyal to Trump. Because of this pardon, they're probably gonna be with him to the end of time. Because this is just another way of him garnering more support. Oh my God, I can already see how the midterm election is gonna look like now. It's been very well received, but I know nothing about it. And how do you know it was well received? This cannot be real life. I'm on one shitty timeline right now.
The president sued himself. He sued the IRS, but essentially he was suing himself. And then he settled with himself for $1.7 billion to be deposited into a slush fund that the president can use at his discretion to reward his political supporters. We found out just hours ago that in that settlement is included a provision that stops the IRS from auditing the president or his family. So instead of ending the Iran war, instead of trying to do something about these spiraling prices and costs that are being borne by families and the federal government, the president has spent the last few weeks reaching his hand into the Treasury, stealing from the American people $1.7 billion to be put into a slush fund that he controls to reward his political supporters, and securing an agreement with the IRS that no matter how much fraud or illegality he and his family and his business entities engaged in, they are getting off scot-free.
After Donald Trump dropped his $10 billion case against the IRS, I guess the way they came to a deal was to give him nearly $2 billion in what he calls his anti-weaponization fund, which, let's just say what it is a slush fund for his followers. Because its sole purpose is to give, let's call them reparations, to the traitors who stormed the Capitol in 2021. Because it's not about anti-weaponization under Trump, because that's solely what he's doing, like indicting people like James Comey over a fucking picture of seashells. It's about all of the disgusting traitors who supported Donald Trump when Biden was in office, and Biden's DOJ decided to actually prosecute them for crimes. And because that money would be going to January 6th insurrectionists, Capitol Police officers have filed a lawsuit to block that fund. And they're actually doing this very cleverly in order to cover their bases, because it argues that the fund violates the 14th Amendment's prohibition on use of federal money to pay any debt or obligation incurred in aid of insurrection or rebellion against the United States. But they also make sure to clarify because they know that the Trump administration is going to try to have this thrown out on standing, saying that the Capitol Police have no right to really bring this because they have no grievance. The lawsuit also states that the Capitol Police officers have faced ongoing harassment and death threats from participants in that riot. The officers say that they have a personal stake in this dispute because it will likely be used to provide financial support to people who will fuel that harassment in the future. They made sure that this would not be immediately thrown out on standing. I don't know what's going to happen with this or how long it's going to take, but it's at least a step in the right direction. Because once again, Donald Trump is trying to steal billions of dollars of our tax money to enrich himself and his cohorts. It's not like we really need any more further confirmation as to how corrupt this fucking regime is. But since Donald Trump is always about the grift, let's be honest of where this money's probably going to go. He's going to make this promise that it's going to his supporters. He's probably going to try using that $2 billion to pay for his ballroom, because so far the Senate will not let him do it with taxpayer money.
America needs to file a class action. Actually, the whole world needs to put a class action lawsuit against Trump because, my God, everyone else is suffering. Let's not forget everyone around the world who's suffering from the tariffs, layoffs, disruption in the industries. The list can go on. We all know there's corruption, but do they have to rub our nose in it? My question is also, how do they come down to the figure of $1.76 billion? Why not just round it up to $2 billion? Like, why that specific figure?
I got a few examples of what white supremacy and white privilege look like. White people about to catch reparations in the upwards of $1.776 billion, not million, billion dollars through a slush fund that the Trump administration is trying to create for people who feel that they're being politically targeted and the January 6th domesticated terrorists. Mind you, most of these people who were pardoned from January 6th have been arrested for the SA of minors. Birds of a feather. This is going to be labeled the Anti-Weaponization Fund. This is going to allow people to apply for payments who they feel are being targeted for political reasons. White people fucking hate black people. And please, for the love of Jehovah, don't come in my comments talking about, well, not all white people, not all white people. Ain't nobody got time to hear hit dogs holler today. This ain't my surprise face by any stretch of the imagination. This is America with 3 Ks. This is par for the course. I mean, forget paying black families back who are descendants of slaves because we had centuries and centuries worth of free labor. And that's me minimizing greatly what actually took place during this time period. This ain't the video for that. Forget paying back the families whose properties and businesses that we destroyed through the 100+ race massacres in the United States history. We never even thought to pay them back, let alone help them rebuild their communities. But Caucasians, we're going to hand you out $1.776 billion because you a snowflake, despite the fact that you're the reason for the season. You did this shit to yourself. Nobody told you to go and be domesticated terrorists on January 6th. No one forced you to do that. That was all done off a fucking lie that you bozos fell for. And just to put the cherry on top of this white supremacist talking point, Trump's also going to move to admit more than 10,000 white South Africans into the United States. Black and brown people, we got ice for you. You ain't allowed here. We don't like your kind here. But Caucasians, we ain't got nothing but room and opportunity for you motherfuckers. Sick of white people, man.
Bro, we're still on the white South Africans wanting to move to America for refuge? My God. We're going to have to do another update on these white South Africans rushing back to South Africa.
There is no end to Donald Trump's corruption. And every day he just pushes the envelope further. Whether it's enriching himself through a crypto scheme, whether it's his family monetizing on the presidency, whether it's him and his wife selling a documentary to Amazon for a reported, $30-40 million. There is no end to the corruption and the grift by this family. And the cynicism of this, of naming this fund first, which was 1.776, so as to be a reference to the year of, America's founding, let's celebrate the 250th anniversary of America by creating a slush fund to help to pay out Donald Trump supporters who raided and attacked the Capitol on January 6th.
Wow, that answers my question. 1776. Oh my God. Another slap to the face of the American people.
Breaking news, the Republicans vote to keep the slush fund. Man, we've never seen anything like this before. How can you be right about what's wrong and be so wrong about how to make it right? You want to reward the January 6th scumbags, with my money, with taxpayer money, people broke into the fucking Capitol, tried to stop Congress from doing its job, and now you want to pay them. Wow. Just a little footnote, and the president and his family can never be audited by the IRS again. I'm getting audited right now for a bullshit reason as far as I'm concerned, and I'm going to fight it. But they should get protection from it forever. I'm getting audited because they want to make sure that I don't live in New York City. Guess what? I don't live in New York City. It's not even a close call. But that's okay. That's the process. But the president should use his control over the institutions of government to insulate his own corrupt-ass family from getting any kind of due process and any kind of real discernment from government. And you're okay with that. And you're going to be silent with that. With your tax dollars going for it. Drain the swamp. You put in the biggest alligators ever. MAGA is killing itself. And there's great opportunity in that for better. But man, it's horrible to see because so many people signed up for this and they weren't bad people. They saw bad things and they wanted them changed. And a lot of them were right about what's wrong. But now they have become what they oppose. And they are backing what is so wrong and will never make anything right. That's the truth.
No, I was saying, let's read the comments. Maybe I might see some form of grace here, but fortunately not. Look at this one. You said nothing about Joe Biden giving millions to fraud networks and never stopping them. F off and suck another I ain't gonna say that. We're still on Joe Biden. Aren't you not mad enough about what's happening right now here? I don't doubt that Joe Biden has his own skeletons in the closet, for sure. But right now, we're facing a situation of the utmost importance. Y'all are not mad enough. Remember, it was like pulling teeth to get Republicans to fund the 9/11 Victim Compensation Fund. But it took them no time at all to create a $1.8 billion insurrection slush fund to pay off the legal fees of the January 6th rioters who beat cops. These are sick, corrupt people. Anyway, let me know what your thoughts are about the slush fund. Do you think the J6 require reparations? Leave your comments down below. I'd love to hear what your thoughts are. If it's your first time to the channel, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Also, check out this video. I'm sure you're going to enjoy it, but nevertheless, I will see you guys when I see you. Peace.